just say less. Everybody rockin' with us, just say less. Everybody rockin' with us, just say less. Podcast lit, baby, just say less. And we climbing up the charts, just say less.
Welcome back. We got a great episode for y'all today. Putting a plot twist to things. We doubling up on you hoes today. Y'all ain't really hoes, but we doubling up because we still inside. Welcome back to the Say Less podcast. We got myself, Nike Too Wavy, in the building.
Yeah, your boy Peanut, Morris Peanut, aka Dark Skin Jermaine. What's happening?
Oh yes, sir. Your light skinned brother, young Davell.
Hi, Brandi.
Oh, you know, we doing it big around here. We got the cast of Thriving and Surviving up in the building. What's up?
Hey, everybody. I'm Lindsey Morgan. Hey, y'all. I'm Ashley. What's up? Hey.
What's up? What's up? And
Right,
we got two special guest hosts with us.
Okay.
Jordan, what's good, bro?
How y'all doing? Jordan Knight.
Big Money J Knight.
Mr. Night and Day Visions.
Night and Day Visions, you know.
And we got another special guest host. Matt, what's going on, man?
How y'all doing?
That's not like he do.
In the building.
One day.
Matt on Android, so just don't mind his quality. Don't mind his
Don't
quality.
put him like that.
He on Android.
I'm making do with what I got. I ain't blessed like y'all. I'm just making it through with what God gave me.
Good answer.
Yeah.
So today we got something special for y'all, man. You know, we've been having a lot of girl chats. I know the guys probably have been having guy chats about but as a female, we don't understand how men think. And it pisses us off for the single folks. So excluding Peanut. Peanut's gonna be like the mediator, I guess, since he's married. But for us single folks, females. Oh, what would you say, Davell?
No. I'm talking about J Knight. No,
I mean, I'm not married yet. I'm engaged.
He's
but,
engaged.
But I'm ready for the conversation. I'm ready for the conversation, though.
Single, huh?
Yeah.
He's close. But yeah, so we got something special. So me and Ashley was talking, and we was just talking about our lonely single life and dating, and we just was like, man, I just cannot understand. And let me just put out a disclosure here for those that's listening. You might hear the N word, you might hear the B word, you might hear the whole word. This might get a little too much for you. So if that's not up to your standards, don't tune into the rest of this episode because it's gonna be a lot. But yeah, so we were just kind of talking about our dating life, and we were like, I just cannot understand. I'm not gonna say the N word, dudes. We cannot understand men and how they respond to things, how they text back. Like, what do men want? How do they think? So we want the fellas to teach us how to think like a man. So when we are out here texting and dating guys and stuff like that, what do we need to do? So
we can't give you all the keys. Come on now.
We need a little bit of something. So I mean, who wants to start off? Y'all want me to start off with something that I've been struggling with?
Yeah. What kind of problems you got going on?
All right. So I was texting this dude, right? Well, I guess let's talk about when you're first starting to date somebody, right? Or let's say not even dating, you're getting to know somebody. Like, do you guys feel that like within those first, let's say 2 weeks, a month, are those like critical times where you should actually like be responding back pretty like, I'm not gonna say quickly, but I mean, you should be more engaged in conversations and stuff and try to make time to actually talk to somebody and get to know them.
I mean,
Peanut. Oh, go ahead, Davell. You can go first.
So you should be making an effort. If you're asking for any effort at all, yes, you should be making an effort. Are you saying like, so okay, say like he's texting back, like maybe every once in a while he texts back like a couple hours late or something, but still texting you pretty consistently, but every once in a while it's a few hours late or something like that. Is that okay with you?
3 hours late? I mean, okay, we all working adults. So I definitely, like, if you're at work and stuff, obviously I would say, yeah, that's fine. But I mean, like, if we both, like, let's say after work.
Mm-hmm.
If we're texting after work and I'm getting responses from you the next day, like,
hey man,
are you interested, or you got other hoes that you attended to as well?
No, that does not interested.
I'm just asking.
Hey, don't lie, Davell. Don't lie.
No, that does not mean you're not interested. Don't mean that at all. It just it could mean a lot of different things. There's a lot of things going on. There's tons of reasons why you could have not texted back. I mean, it could have been you was maybe focused on something else. You could have
asked this question. Do we think that when you're talking to someone or getting to know someone, you guys have to speak every day?
I think I would say most women feel that way.
Right. But what do you
I would say most, not all, but most.
I'm that most.
Okay, so what is your response as a man? Because my answer to that question would be, yeah, like if you're actually interested in somebody, then you're going to want to talk to them pretty much every day. Nobody's saying you got to text all day long, like from the time you wake up. We're not in high school no more. People staying up till 5 a.m. caking on the phone. But at the same time, like if you're interested in somebody and you're dating, then my answer as a single woman would be, yeah, like I need to hear from you every day, some type of communication, because that's showing interest. Unless you have we've already discussed, like, hey, I got this crazy work schedule, so it may not be daily. But if that's not the case, I feel like I need to hear from you something.
Okay, so what if you do hear from him every day? You hear from him every day, but throughout the day he's not as consistent. Is that a problem with you?
Man.
But you hear him every day.
What? No.
Now I was gonna say, on one of our episodes, I'm not gonna say who, but somebody was like, I don't like it when the man texts me like right back. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, it depends. That means it depends. That's like, it depends on the situation.
So Nike must have said it.
No, but
Did I say it? Did I say it?
No, but I think speaking as a man, you know what I'm saying? I think from what we get from women, I think it really depends on how much the woman likes you, honestly. Because I'm pretty sure y'all get texts from guys and you be like, man, why is this nigga texting?
Yeah.
I don't wanna. But I think you just really gotta be a special one, or have some sort of value, honestly. I just think y'all probably get DMs all the time, you know what I'm saying? So probably just gotta
it definitely has to be mutual, because otherwise you're gonna look like the thirsty nigga that just constantly texting every morning, good morning, hope you have a great day. Like, nah. So
you gotta communicate without being corny, though. Like, I think that's where the line is a little blurry sometimes, but I feel like sometimes niggas know when niggas being corny. Like, a good morning text every morning can be a little extra, but like making sure that you communicate every day is different than good morning. I hope the middle of your day is going well. I hope you had a great lunch. I hope your day was awesome. That's too much. But the constant communication is what I'm asking.
But what's your expectation? Are you expecting that the guy hits you up every day, or is it like back and forth? Some days you the first one to start the conversation.
I would say definitely back and forth. Like, there's no, if he don't text me, he's not interested. Because, I mean, if I wake up before you do, or, I'm thinking about you before you think about me, then what's the problem with me texting you? That's both of us showing interest, both of us communicating.
Right.
But what if you don't get a text until the afternoon? How you feel?
I think I'll be fine. I think first of all, I'm busy enough to be fine. I probably ain't checking for it like that anyway, but as long as it's coming, I mean, if it's 12 o'clock in the morning, like, this is booty call hours, that's unacceptable. But
Okay. Oh, you hit where I was going. That's where I was going next.
Kai Diamond was
Yeah. I think as women, we want to be thought of throughout the day, but we don't want to feel like we're on a routine where like you wake up, you're like, I gotta text her because she's gonna be looking forward to the text. Like it's never at the day you felt like, let me see what she's doing. I miss her. I want to text her. But don't feel like you have to text me good morning every morning, or you're just doing it to say you did it.
Yeah, you can't act like you don't be looking forward to it.
Exactly.
Where's Matt at? Matt, what you got to say about this?
I was gonna say, but will you hold it against us if we don't?
Text me morning?
I mean, it's the first time we are getting to know each other. We're just introducing each other into each other's lives. So can you hold it against us if in that beginning phase we're still trying to figure out this, how this relationship is going to fit, and how we're going about our daily lives?
well, I don't think so.
I don't know. First off, there has to be. So there's a difference between like, oh, we're trying to get to know someone, and oh, I'm trying to like possibly be in a relationship with you. If I'm just getting to know you, of course I want to have a consistent communication. It doesn't have like they said, does not have to be every day. But if I go out of my way to text you, to ask a question or something, and then it's not reciprocated, or if it's a day or two later, to me that's gonna make me mad. That's
Exactly.
But to me, so if you are interested in somebody, if I met a girl and I'm texting you for let's say 2 or 3 weeks straight, but I haven't mentioned, hey, let's actually meet up, then you should be able to tell right there, I'm not really interested in you. Like I feel like you get to know who you're really interested in when you go on that first 2 or 3 dates, and then you realize, okay, oh yeah, now I'm about to build a routine.
We can't do that right now, Jordan. We quarantine.
Well, right now you can't.
Inside.
So right now you just gotta. I wouldn't trust nobody at this moment because
Honestly,
we stuck in the house.
like when you saying that, like me and actually discussed something like this on our podcast maybe like a couple episodes ago, talking about communication. Like if we've been talking for 3 weeks and you're not even interested in meeting up with me, you need to just communicate that. Why do I have to wait for you to tell me something when you can just say, hey, this has been cool conversation, but we're not gonna meet up. Like I'm not into you. We could be friends, but dating is not it. Why are we playing games and waiting on you to?
But not all guys is gonna act like that.
Yeah.
But so with this, I'm someone who likes honesty up front. So I'm gonna be like, I'll ask certain questions up front, and I'll be letting you know, like, hey, I like honesty. So be honest with me. If you just looking to smash, let me know. Some girls don't like that.
What you gonna say back?
So say,
It depends on the day. You might have to smash too.
It just depends. Like for some women, they don't like that like directness. I'm probably gonna like be like, okay, cool. I'm not into that, or that where we meeting. It just depends. But I like honesty because I don't like the in between. I don't like not knowing. I don't like knowing like, okay, is he thinking this? Does he think I'm thinking? I don't like that. I ain't got time. Just tell me.
Okay, so let me ask this question. Let's say you've been talking for a couple of weeks now, but your text messages has been sporadic, like we've been saying. So you might talk consistently for maybe, let's say 30 minutes, but then you might not hear from them till like sexting hours when you're both working adults. So sexting hours, he may not have to work, but you do. So you might be on to sleep. So you don't respond to him till the next morning. And then when you do respond to him the next morning, he doesn't text you back until sexting hours.
Oh yeah,
What does that mean?
You know what he wants, yeah.
Yeah, he not worried. He not worried about. Yeah.
Okay, so we all agree on that. So I just wanted to see if that was.
I mean, and you responding is based on what you want. Like, and like I was telling Ashley, you got to be honest with yourself with what you want. Like, don't accept it because you're in a desperate situation where you want to be talking to somebody and then it becomes okay. Like, be upfront. Like, hey, bro, you not that fine. I'm not ready to smash, so please don't be that
Oh,
late.
say that. Don't say that.
Hey, don't,
Sometimes y'all need y'all feelings hurt. Like,
don't act like we all ain't human.
I'm just saying.
But y'all ain't human.
But you texting me only booty call hours. I'm human too, sir. Have a little bit of respect.
I'm not gonna lie. I definitely
no, I didn't mean it in that way. I'm just saying that.
Like, oh, she probably had it out too.
Nah.
Man, nah. Yeah, you got to be real though. Hey, so you ain't never did that? Just you had a guy that you just talked to. I mean,
I was about to be real nigga.
No. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like anybody who knows me knows that I'm a straightforward person. So I'm gonna tell you from the beginning, like that shot, Nike. I'm gonna tell you from the beginning what I want. So if I'm probably gonna be the first person to text you and say, hey, this ain't working, but I am trying to smash. Like, is that something you're interested in or not? Because if not,
like every dude is. What?
Yeah.
I mean, mostly. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Most guys, yeah. Most guys.
Talk about what?
If like most guys want to smash, like if a female just texts you and like, like really I'm just trying to smash, y'all gonna be like, hell yeah, shit, I'm down.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, why
not? Nah. You gotta know your worth, King.
Know your worth.
Don't be sitting on here on this God's green earth lying.
Know your worth, King.
I think I know stories about every which one of you niggas except for Matt.
Right, Ash.
That was our past life.
Don't be putting out people's business.
Probably the most the man in this chat right now. I'm just saying.
But I'll catch it.
Okay, so let's say you call them out on this, right? That you call them out on the only texting during booty call hours or not responding, and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy."
Okay.
No contact?
That means he ain't really fucking with you, right? He ain't really fucking with you.
Honestly, if I was the girl, I wouldn't respond ever again. I would never hit him up again. Honestly, personally, if I was the girl, like if a girl did that to me, and like I was like, and she's like, "Oh, I'm just busy." I'd be like, okay, well, I don't need to talk to you no more. I'm like,
yeah.
But what if she or he really was busy? Like,
well, that's
that warrant a busy for that many for X amount of weeks, days.
Nah, hey, man. People make time for what they want.
Exactly.
Yep. Exactly.
Then maybe sometimes
nobody that busy.
Because sometimes like I work in event production, so like when I have an event, like my whole weekend's taken up, and like if I tell somebody I'm busy, that literally like I may be busy for 5 days straight where I cannot answer my phone because the only time I'm answering my phone is for a client. But I think that I'm not saying that's an excuse. You should never text somebody and say I'm busy. If you are busy, then you have to give an explanation. I'm busy because this weekend I'm working from sunrise to sundown. So if I don't respond to you, that's why. Like I don't think there's a problem with saying that I'm busy. I think it's a problem when you think that you are God's gift to this green earth and you feel like you don't have to explain yourself when you do something incorrectly.
I think it's just more so like Pina was saying, you got to make time for who you think is worth it.
No, I think no. If there's an explanation with it, that I'd be okay.
I mean, but you're still texting. Like, so in that scenario, if you're working and you got something big going on, you might say like, I'm just like a what's up or hey, I'm working. But if you really, but I mean, if you're really interested in or invested into somebody, you're gonna make time. So even if you got all this stuff going on, like okay, I'm gonna make at least let me structure my day because I really like this person, and this is the beginning stages, right? So I really like this person. I'm really digging this person. Okay, yeah, I'm working from 7A to 7P, but at 8 o'clock, I'm gonna make sure I reach out to them just to say what's up, see how their day is going. I mean, just a little conversation. If it has to be a 30-minute conversation, just to show that you're still interested.
So to the guys, to the guys specifically, so you guys, if you're interested in a girl that, maybe you really don't, maybe met a couple times, don't know that well, would you say that your communication is consistently, like, are you guys, like, how do you guys respond to women? Like,
So this is like a girl that I'm very interested in. Like I'm very interested in this.
I didn't say very. I didn't. Let's not add the very. I said just interested in. Just like, oh, she's cute. Let me see what she's about.
But the key is being very interested, because if you just kind of interested, you only gonna hit her up when you need some entertainment. You're not gonna really. You're not gonna.
To very interested though. When is that line where you're
I
like,
can-
okay, I'm interested now?
I don't know about y'all, but from the beginning, I can tell how much I'm interested. Like I'd be like, oh, okay. Right. It can fluctuate, but from the beginning, I have a good gauge. Like, okay, I'm interested here, and I'll go out my way and do what I need to do.
That's why I agree with Ashley. I agree with Ashley around like the letting your intentions be known. Like, no, I didn't always let my intentions be known, but if I meet a girl and I know like, okay, that's probably just a girl I want to smash. She ain't really got much going for her, but I'm just trying to enjoy myself, have a good time, then I'm gonna just hit her up whenever. But if it's like, okay, I seen this girl, man, she looked like, somebody that I really want to just talk to and get to know, then I might hit her up daily and then try to I'm trying to set dates. Like if I meet you on Sunday at a day party, then I'm trying to have a date with you on Tuesday or Wednesday, happy hour or something. Like we get into the dates now because I want to see if this interest is mutual. Like, otherwise I'm gonna be wasting my time. And if I'm wasting my time, then that's when I would start to, hit you up every now and then, maybe if I just want to.
I think for me, it becomes
Go ahead, sorry.
I think for me, it becomes a focus of having quality conversation over necessarily the amount of quantity and the amount of conversations we have. Because of course I could talk to a woman every day, every other day, but the conversations always be dry. Or I could talk to someone maybe 2 to 3 times a week, and we have great conversation for those few days. So I think if it's a girl that I'm really interested in, I'm focused on having as great conversation as we can, and then just enjoying those times that I have, because like we all adults, we all have responsibilities and other things that to take care of that may take away from the time that we could give to that person.
I think we all missing a focal point here though. It also depends on where we are as people, like in our life as it pertains to a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one.
Like if you just out and about, been single for a minute doing your thing, and you talk
like Davell or something, yeah.
Yeah, like young Rick.
Don't do Davell.
Hey, you talking to a chick you a couple weeks in, a month in, you know what I'm saying? Like in that time I say like you two, like she's met your representative, you met her representative, like which is the best version of themselves, you know what I'm saying? And like y'all really don't owe each other anything. I think like if you set the basis of like what you're looking for, you know what I'm saying, early on, and then like let them know how your lifestyle is, I think you'll get a better understanding versus just, talking and not really have like goals set, you know what I'm saying?
Agreed. And communicating as time goes on, like if something changes. So if in the beginning we decided, hey, this is just gonna be a friendship, we just gonna get to know each other, maybe friends with benefits, but 3 months down the line, I'm like, okay, like you really dope. Like I really like you. Like I need to be able to communicate that with you, because I think it becomes unfair if I feel a certain way and I'm going about expecting you to act in certain ways based on how I feel about you, and you don't even know my expectations at this point. So consistently having those conversations when that relationship evolves, whether it's just to you or on both sides.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But how many of us really do that though? That's like
we don't.
real question.
Yeah. I'm in the situation now.
Worst things.
What'd you say, Davell?
Communication is like one of my biggest weaknesses, honestly.
Ooh,
Why do you say that?
Ooh, I agree. I agree with that.
I'm more of like a go with the flow type person, so I really don't even plan anything at all. So when I get to know somebody, when I go talk to somebody, like it's literally I'm gonna just get to know them, see what happens. Whatever happens, happens. So I'm cool with that. I know on the other side, it doesn't help if they start developing certain feelings and stuff and start feeling that type of way. And I've just been going with the flow. So they're like, oh, let's do this. I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm down, because I'm down for whatever. I'm just whatever. So, and then that's caused a lot of problems for me, because then I end up in a situation where it's a girl that really likes me and stuff, and I'm still just like, oh, well, We didn't know each other. We didn't know each other.
But now
Yeah.
but
Communication is very key. You know, it is. I can say that. I'm not good at it yet still, but work on it.
I think that's a good point though, because I think when you don't really know what you want, everyone starts off with, oh, we're just going with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. Want to get to know each other. But then everybody's flow isn't the same current. Like we're not going down the same wave. So you're still going with the flow. And I'm like, all right, I do like him. It's been 2 months. I'm trying to see where this goes. And he like, I'm still just going with the flow. So it does like that.
So
is great communication.
I have a question. So if you meet a guy and he says, you know, I'm not looking for a relationship right now, I'm just kind of going with the flow, what's your response? Not the response that you say to him, but maybe in your mind, like, what are you thinking? Like, oh, he's just trying to hit, or he's got something else going on? Is he talking to somebody else? Like, what do you really think when he says that, you know, I'm just chilling right now?
I think it depends on where you're at in life. Because if you're ready to settle down, you like, I'm not with the shits. I ain't got time for it. But I mean, like, if you still like in the streets, then you like, well, shit, all I was looking for was a little cuddy buddy anyway. So shit, it may work. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it just depends on your state of mind at that moment. But I would say right now, I would be like, I'm not going to even waste my time because I'm looking for something that's long term, right? But if back in college, I would probably be like, shit, yeah.
But going with the flow don't necessarily mean like it's something short term or that you don't want something long term. It's just saying let's see what happens.
That's a commitment though. That's like the bottom bare minimum of communication. Like that is, to me as an adult, like that should no longer be a thing. Going with the flow.
But you're just
use your words. Explain what that means to you.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm going with the flow. I'm interested in something, but I'm not sure, you know, if it's gonna be with you, or are you saying at this point in my life, this is I just want to meet friends. Like there are more words that go with going with the flow. Like that's just like very generic. And to me, that's an excuse to say if things don't work out or if she gets mad, I can say, well, I told you I was going with the flow. Like, no, we have to do more than that at this point in life. Like we have to explain ourselves a little bit better. You don't owe anything, but you also don't want to hurt people's feelings because you weren't being considerate in the beginning when you could have.
And I understand that point. I wouldn't, if a girl asked me, what am I looking for? I wouldn't say necessarily going with the flow. What I would say would be, well, you know, I'm trying to get to know somebody. If we turn into something, then that's what I'm looking for. Like, cause I want a relationship. That's what I want. Like everybody wants a relationship. No matter who it is, everybody wants a relationship. I don't care who it is. Everybody wants a relationship. Everybody wants to find the right person or whatever. But I just feel like a lot of people are just they want it so badly that me, I'm very patient with it, and I want to get to know you. And if it's not working, then I'm like,
AKA, I'm still in the streets. I'm
still in the streets. I kind of agree with Davell in a way. There's like, let me try to explain myself. So I understand, Davell, you're right. Nobody wants to be alone. Like nobody just wants to be alone, you know, be by themselves. At some point, we all want to have some kind of, you know, partner, married, whatever. Now, I necessarily wouldn't say I'm ever just looking for a relationship because one, a relationship is a big commitment. Friendships, relationships, you know, physical, all that is a big commitment. And I'm not always going to say I'm going to be committed, but I can still be looking for something. It doesn't mean it has to be like just super serious right then, because that's, to me, that's what I see with a lot of people our age. They like to jump into stuff so quickly and they keep jumping to the next thing because something doesn't work out. I personally don't mind getting to know someone. Like, obviously I'd want to go on actual dates, not be stuck in the house. But since, you know, during this time, you have no choice but to try to communicate with people because you can't have that physical interaction with someone. So I kind of agree with you, Davell. Like, yeah, I want to take that time to get to know you more, but I'm not saying
at a certain point you do have to do something. And I get Lindsey's point about too, also it being an excuse because I've thought about it that way. But But yeah, I personally, I don't like to rush into anything. And if a girl tells me right from the beginning, like she says to me, like, "Hey, I'm looking for a relationship. I want to be married in the next year. I want to do blah 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 blah, all this stuff."
If she tell you that right at the beginning, run. I mean,
I'm like, come on, man. This is
I think you have to run. She just know exactly what she wants.
That nigga run fast.
No, you should run. That's a little upset. Like, that's the first thing you're talking about. I would never like put that on anybody. Like,
no, and I understand. She's probably been through a lot. I can understand that she's probably been through a lot. She's tired of wasting her time. She's tired of all that. But me just walking up, meeting this girl, she's like, "Hey, I'm
that's okay.
You need to be serious. You need to be." All right.
Where I am in life, I'm actually just getting into that phase with someone, and the answer I gave when she asked me what were my intentions, I told her that I am looking for a long-term relationship. It's just that right now I'm not in a rush for it. So I say I am going with the flow, but when I say I'm going with the flow, I clarify that it means I'm enjoying this conversation, seeing how we interact, and that she still has the freedom, just like I have, to interact with other people and see what works for us, which works better. If a relationship with that other person may work better than ours. And then as time goes on, if they work out,
that's all we need.
Okay, cool. We can bring that conversation about becoming exclusive.
Okay. Oh, I gotta.
That's literally all
over there shouting. Brandi got the Holy Ghost. Brandi got the Holy Ghost.
Cause like that's it. Like that's it. That sentence, that paragraph. That's all we need to figure out what to do next. That's it. That is it. That's it.
So in this scenario that you just gave, let's say you gave that explanation to her. Everything's going good. She decides you that person she wants, but you've also been interacting with other people and stuff, and you're not sure. So how would you handle that?
You would say that.
You gotta ghost her.
I would. I was in that situation right before this last girl, so that was fun. That's fun to bring that up. And at that point, I'm going to stick to how I feel. Like I understand that she wants to be exclusive, but I'm not there yet. So I don't want her to feel like she has to stay, and I'm not going to force myself to create emotions that aren't there yet.
He just said ghost her being real nice.
You just gotta let him know, man. Like,
I'm just gonna be like, nah, I'm not there yet, and she's either gonna have to say, okay, I'm gonna wait till you get there, or she's gonna have to go find somebody else.
It's all about timing. If the timing is perfect for both of y'all, you good. If it ain't, man, one of y'all getting played, one of y'all getting ghosted. It's just how it's gonna go.
Hey, Nike, I wasn't ready.
I'm getting played because I'm in front. Listen, I already told you what it is.
I mean, she's really gonna be the one who's gonna be upset because she only wants you. You good? You got a couple of them.
But I mean, that's the risk. That's always the risk of getting into a relationship. You can't necessarily tell what the other person is feeling, despite what they say. So they could be like, "Yeah, I understand. I'm cool with us just being friends." Meanwhile, inside they like, "I'm trying to lock this down, create long-term relationship, kids, white picket fence, and a dog."
But that's on them. You were my thing is like, if you were upfront from the beginning, that's their issue that they didn't understand. That is their problem. Like we're just talking about insecure. Like Molly thought Asian Bae was her only bae, and he had a couple of them, and she was mad. Y'all didn't have that conversation. Like, did you have the conversation? Why did you only think that you were the only one? Like, that's your issue. I don't know what to tell you, boo. Like,
no, but y'all making it sound like y'all just okay with getting your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Wait a minute.
That's how y'all making it sound.
It's gonna be cool when you said that. Like everything's all cool. Like, oh, okay, that's fine.
I personally like that too. So don't say that.
I personally do not like rejection. So I know my fault. I have a fault where I don't like rejection. So sometimes my communication isn't always A1 because I don't know how the outcome's gonna be because I might not like what I hear. So I avoid it. I'm not saying that's right, but I've done that before. As I've gotten older, I am learning that you can't do that. I'd rather know what's going on than not know the unknown because it's gonna drive me crazy.
Right.
Like it's just that's gonna hurt worse because I'm like thinking about different situations and outcomes, and I don't really know because I didn't specifically ask.
And I think that's a problem that we have as women is we're too much in our heads because we're always thinking about what if, or we try to plan out the conversation ahead of time. Like if you ask this, then these are the two outcomes that can be had. Like, so I think that's our problem is that we're always too much in our heads, and I feel like guys are more so, go with the flow, like whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Straightforward.
Women are manipulators. We're master manipulators. Y'all don't gotta admit that, man, but we know what we need to say to get you to answer the way that we need you to answer.
Right.
And I agree with Nike. That's what you're doing unconsciously. Like I can ask you a question and you not even know what my end result is. Like you think you just really want to know if I'm talking to this person. Yeah. No, I'm already 10 steps ahead of you.
Right.
Who you like more? Where are we going with this?
You 10 steps ahead.
I'm clearly a different type of woman because I be forgetting.
I'm about to say, you think you 10 steps ahead is right. You don't know.
In your own mind. I agree, Jordan. It's in my own mind. Like that's how I feel. Like I'm when I say I'm 10 steps ahead, I mean like we're having this conversation and you're honed in on this conversation, but my mind is on another conversation on down the line. Not saying I know what you're gonna say.
So you're on an argument that ain't even happening.
Yeah. You gotta be prepared. You gotta be prepared for how it's gonna go. Like you gotta know, like, okay, am I gonna be civil in this situation or I'm gonna be real ratchet in this? You gotta be prepared. I'm just saying.
Like even though you have it in your mind, like because I could be an emotional creature. If I can plan out the whole conversation, like okay, if he say that he dating other people and I am too, but I prefer him, and he's like I kind of want to figure it out. I can say in my mind, all right, I'm gonna be civil, but I mean you never know what's gonna come out when the time comes.
Let me tell you one thing about men. Like one thing about us, if we want you to know something, no matter how many questions you ask us, if you really want to know how we feel, like with a conversation or questions that y'all have, if we don't want to tell you, you can ask. We are not going to give it to you until we feel ready to, like, honestly, because that's when we feel like our most vulnerable, like in relationships. Like, all right, this person has been around through like this minute like issue or whatever, or this conversation. Like, I feel like this person is, like, I feel comfortable with this person, like enough to be like, all right, this is my issue with relationships and why I don't want to like go this far. This is like the reason I act a certain way, but you can ask some questions and think you may have the answers, but I promise you, you will not know until we are ready to let you know.
I mean, I think we kind of know that. Yeah. That's when we go into girl talk. Like, this nigga done text. So I said this, and this nigga said this. What you think? And then we kind of, we go into these girl talks and have these conversations like, yeah, this nigga.
Now, before what Lindsey just said, like that question ain't really got nothing to do. It's about something totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what I think that's what Nike's saying. Like, we'll take your answer, and 9 times out of 10, after girl talk, we then came up with some crazy scenario that still ain't right. But we gonna take it back, and we gonna try to figure out what you really meant, like decode whatever answer you gave us, which is probably why we be in so much trouble half the time, because we just come up with our own definition of what you said and make it life.
I'm not saying like, hey, I don't want
to talk. Came up with a whole movie about your one text.
Boy, for real. Plotting.
Why not say like I don't want to talk about what I went through something previously, et cetera, but I just don't want to talk about it right now. Like, why not say, I don't want to talk about it right now, but I'm acting like this because of I went through something. We can talk about it later.
Honestly, like me personally, like with how much I've grown, like mentally, like I ain't got no problem like telling like anybody how I feel, like when in regards to like my emotions, like I feel like I'm like secure enough in myself to be like, I don't like appreciate this or a conversation or whatever as it pertains to relationships. Like no matter what it is, like honestly, if I'm uneasy with it or if I have something to say, like I'm gonna say, like you gonna know like my truth, honestly. Like some guys ain't like that, but I can't go.
Most guys ain't like that.
I have a question. So if you choose like not to respond, then is it out of fear of like the person that you kind of like, or that you kind of feel in this vibe, or even that you're having good sex with? Is it out of fear of that person like being like, nah, I don't want anything to do with it, or is it just something that y'all do unconsciously, subconsciously?
Like old me would have just like, you know, would have been in that lane. But I think it really just depends on your mental state, honestly. Because if I want to know something, like, or if I want to say something, like, I'm gonna say it, like, honestly. And I'm not really, because if I want to get to a specific answer, if it's something that I want to hear, I'm gonna ask questions in a certain way to get the answer that I want to hear, like without manipulation, you know, because I want to know the truth. Like me personally, like I want to know the truth. Like I don't, you know, like, and I'm not gonna put emotions into it. It's just I know how to move after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like some guys would just be like, man, she broke my heart, cuz. You know, and don't matter what.
Yeah, I know for me, it's probably more subconscious because I'm not really scared of them leaving. Like a lot of the times I'll be wanting to leave, but
see Davell.
Oh Lord.
No, but me, it just be subconscious. Like I don't put emotions with anything. So like me, just naturally, I'm just like I really don't want to talk about that. Honestly, I don't like. It's not like I'd rather. I'm just not.
So does that mean that you're not really into her then?
Yeah.
No, I'm into her.
Yeah.
No, it has to mean that, because if you really invested and you really into somebody, then you're gonna.
No, I could be really somebody and not want to talk about nothing really deep.
I mean, you just don't feel comfortable with them yet, or something because of that, or.
I just
some people just don't want to talk about nothing that's deep.
It ain't about our comfort level and then like I feel comfortable. I could tell that to a stranger if they really ask me to, but I just don't want to talk about it at all, really.
So is this like a maturity level thing? So like if Peanut's saying that, you know, he'll put it all out there, you know, and Davell's saying he won't. So on the scale of grown up, Peanut's more grown up, Davell is still getting there. Stupid. Right? Because that's what it sounds like to me, because it sounds like Davell's mindset is that he's still out here in these streets. Meanwhile, Peanut, you know, he's at home, settled in with his beautiful family. So we got Jordan in the middle of the two. You know, he's engaged, you know, so I'm curious to hear how, Jordan, what are your thoughts about what Davell just said, Jordan?
I do have a quick question, though, because is that a man in a relationship, or is that a personality type? Like, that could just be Davell's personality to not want to open up or share deep things.
Nah, I can't say it's just a personality thing or a man thing, because I used to be the exact same way. I used to be like, you know what, like whatever feelings like I harbor, like I don't want to like let you in because this is some shit like I have to work on myself, and like I don't want to like just talk about. It's like something that would like bring a cloud over the relationship or whatever, or maybe I feel like you're trying to be my therapist. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, some women just want to listen and talk about your problems.
So it is so that sounds like you have to be comfortable with that person to be able to let them know about that stuff. And I mean, that's how it sounds.
But Peanut, I think I saw on one of y'all first episodes, you know, you said you go to therapy. Was it after therapy that you become this way where you feel open to spread anything? Because most people ain't going, you know, most of us haven't maybe been to therapy, right? So for us to share something, you know, in certain topics, you may just not want to talk about because it takes you to a bad place. It's not necessarily the comfort of the person. You just really don't want to get into the details.
Yeah, it was definitely after therapy. Man, like I didn't want to talk about like even with being in a relationship, like being engaged, being married, like I didn't want to like talk about like my issues, you know, like as a man and like what I have to work on myself, because I feel like, you know, I wasn't living up to my expectations, right? You know, or maybe like my head was bigger than, you know, I actually, you know, thought like I was as a person, you know, but then going to therapy, man, and being able to talk with my therapist about it and just talk about my issues as a man, you know, and my therapist is a woman, you know, so just talking about like the Black dynamic in relationships, you know, and like how you have to actually work on yourself before you can work something out with your partner. You know what I'm saying? Because if you hold on to old things, like ain't no way you can build something new at all.
More than personality, because I think most boys grow up and are taught not to show their feelings. So I feel like not all men, but most men are like that because they grow up to be, don't show your feelings, don't cry, to be like that. So I don't blame you, Davell, for like being like that, because a lot of people are taught, a lot of boys and men are taught to be like that. And girls are taught to show their feelings and talk things out and all this other stuff.
And that's funny because I grew up a little bit differently. My dad was the type who used to tell me that like I shouldn't cry, I shouldn't show emotions. And it sounds bad, like I just remember it as a child, don't cry, it makes you weak type thing. So for a long, long time, when I showed any type of emotion, it wasn't like, oh, I'm crying, I'm sad. It's like, I'm mad, I'm angry, I can't cry. It shows, that I can't handle it, handle the thing. And as I've gotten older, I do cry now. Even if I'm sad, if I'm happy, whatever, but that's crazy that y'all say that, because it's different for me.
I'm kind of the same with Ashley. Like I don't really wear my emotions and stuff on my sleeves, like I feel like the same way as you, like my mom was like, you can't let these hoes out here see you sweat, cry, nothing. It'll make you weak, you know what I'm saying? So like,
came from your mom, that came from my dad. Like,
but, my dad wasn't in the picture, so I mean that's a whole nother conversation to be had. But
you think you have daddy issues?
I definitely have daddy issues. I definitely do, and I feel like that's part of the reason why it affects my relationship and the guys that I choose and stuff like that. So I mean, like that's why I'm like, I think that made me. That makes me more upfront with the guys that I'm talking to, because like I know the qualities of a guy that I want. Like I talk about this on almost every podcast episodes. Like I have my 5 non-negotiables, and I'm like sticking with that, because I know exactly what I want. And if you can't meet these standards, then it is what it is.
What's your 5? What's your 5? Let me hear your 5. I just want to know.
No, I'm not going there.
I don't know. I really want to know the 5. I really do.
Come on, Sierra. Let's hear
I'm not
it.
going there today.
Okay, but let me ask you about those 5. This is something that I've I've recently re-entered the dating scene. So like the first date I went on, like I had this whole long list. Like this nigga gotta be a college graduate. He gotta have a decent job. He can't have kids. Like I had the whole list. And the first guy that I went out with,
I felt that, Lindsey. I felt that.
He had none of that. Like he was like a professional, semi-pro athlete. He never graduated from college. He wasn't even from the United States. He was like from Canada. Like all kind of everything that I said I wanted, or the stuff that I said I wouldn't do, this guy was like the total opposite. And probably like enjoyed myself the most of it. As a matter of fact, if he wouldn't have moved to like up in Australia, we would probably still be seeing each other. But like it's something to me like
I gotta start dating exotic men, man.
Limit yourself.
Don't do it. Don't do it. That's what, like maybe not certain things, like if he like he has to be Christian. I kind of wavered on that, which I never thought I would, and I don't think I could ever marry someone who wasn't. But dating was one thing. But like I understand having like your specifics with things that like I guess are the foundation of your life. So college is not necessarily the foundation of your life, but like your spirituality, your Christianity, if you're a Christian, that may be like a standard that has to be set. I agree with having that as your, on your top 5, but like some things we can be a little anal with that are not really as important as we think they are. Like if I wanted you to graduate college and you out here like me, self-employed, struggling right now, that was dumb. When this other man didn't graduate college, but he is making 6 figures, like probably should have thought about that before I just crossed you off my list.
I think like the college thing, I kind of had that mindset too at first, because I mean, especially when you freshly out of college, like
Man,
most of our friends.
Top 5? Fuck off all that.
Exactly. Just go ahead and tell us. Tell us so we can judge you.
I'll share a couple of them.
Your future
so we can judge you.
Yeah, we want to know. We want to know. Let's go. Come on.
So obviously the first one was faith, and being a believer and having a relationship with God, because I mean I think that's the foundation of every relationship. So if you don't have faith, if you're not in church, and if you was, I would say if you had a different belief, it would be hard to date somebody of a different belief. So I mean, that's number 1. My second is, this is gonna make me sound so bad.
Just come on now.
So
you grow, you got it.
I already said this on an episode. So I mean, I have a certain income base that I feel you should have.
So you can't drive school buses.
Now let me explain. Let me explain because I just feel like
you ain't seen no Tyler Perry movies.
I don't want to sound. Damn, this makes me seem real shallow.
What, they got to make at least 6 figures?
6 figures.
You just got to make more than me,
Oh.
or be at or above me.
Why is that?
I just feel like
That might be the problem.
I'm old fashioned, and you know, I really believe that.
Well,
you know,
nigga, you
the
want to
man
be a housewife then.
You said what? Basically,
You want to be a housewife then.
exactly.
That's cool. If I would be a housewife if we could afford to do so. I don't have
Basically, you're trying to find somebody that's making more than you, so that if you decide, hey, I just want to be a housewife, then I'm good.
Well, but that's not my intentions. It's just that I mean.
You like that spirit?
I'm trying not to sound so bad, but it just sounds bad when you say it out loud. It sounds so bad.
No, there's
but I do have a question. And if that's your second thing, how?
It's not second. That's not rack and stack.
I mean, either way, let's just say that's one of your top 5.
Yeah.
When you meet somebody, what you doing? Asking them what their base salary is? I mean, you can't really. You shouldn't start off a conversation with that.
No. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna. That's not like the first date question.
Seriously dating.
You said what?
That's not the first date question. But I mean, I am gonna find out like within the first week or so. What do you do? And things like that.
Hold on now.
You said on the podcast. First date. Now. That's a question you're gonna ask.
I'm gonna find out what you do.
I'll tell you this. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just more private with my stuff, but my fiance did not find out my base income till probably a month or 2 ago.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, I don't need to know numbers. I don't need to know numbers.
She knew what she might have known what my career was, which the career, then maybe you could Google it and hopefully find a salary, but you don't know, you don't know.
Much. I'm not even sitting here Googling niggas' salaries, like.
But like, I ain't never said like what you make. I'm usually like, do you have a job? Are you able to provide for yourself? Are you, ambitious? Do you have other goals? Or are you cool with this? Let's just say you're making $60K. Are you cool with just sitting at the $60K? Or do you have plans to kind of, get a promotion?
Jordan, I agree with you fully on that. I'm not going to sit there and just ask him like, do you make 6 figures? Like, that is not coming out my mouth. I'm gonna ask him what does he do? And then like as we getting to know each other, phase continues on, then we get into that. I would want to know what's your goals and your ambitions and things like that. I mean, to give me a base understanding of, okay, what is he trying to do? Where is he trying to go? Because if you just don't have a plan and you're just trying to stay stagnant, then I'm not with that because I'm all about trying to grow. I'm trying to build an empire at the end of the day. So
I don't think there's anything wrong with you having that standard. I think the mindset that comes with it maybe what could be problematic or acceptable. So if your reasoning is because you do aspire to be a housewife, because I mean I know y'all don't think that's okay, but my mom's been a housewife forever, and shit around here don't move unless she moves. We all hungry, all kind of stuff. If Sherry don't get up and do what she got to do, bills don't get paid. Like she runs the house. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think it's knowing your reasoning behind it. So if it is because you want to be a housewife and you have this standard of living because you want to take care of your kids or you want to be able to raise your kids yourself, that's one thing. Or say that you, in the past, you've dated men who have made less than you and it's become a problem in your relationship, then maybe mentioning that ahead of time, that makes it acceptable. Not saying that you can just say, I'm not going to be with him because he don't make 6 figures, but then it becomes a conversation. But if it's just a, hey, this is it or nah, then that part may be a little problematic.
Right. And I'm not to say that, like, if somebody comes into my life and they just, like, sweep me off my feet, like, obviously things may shift from my top 5 non-negotiables, right? Yeah. So I'm not saying that I'm, like, completely against it. But, I mean,
what's your 3, 4, and 5? What's
We
3,
ain't
4,
gonna
and
make this a
5?
Nike therapy session now.
Nah, we just need to
We're
know
not making this a therapy session about Nike.
what's 3, 4, and 5. Just come on, real quick.
No.
Just say it real quick.
This is not about me.
I got a
This is
question.
not about me. This is just a conversation to help people out.
I got a question for everybody. When we brought up the topic of finances, does debt come into consideration? Like if you're talking to somebody, you find out, oh yeah, I got like $100,000 in student loan debt, or like, but they're making six figures. Does that play a part? Or if you find out somebody graduated from college for free,
This is being recorded, right?
Yeah, this is being recorded.
Alright, I'm chilling. Go
Oh
ahead.
wow.
No, Jay Knight.
Yeah, because Jay Knight, you in this situation, right?
Huh? What?
You currently in a situation like this.
Hey, clean it up for us, man. Clean it up for us.
Yeah, let me clean it up. So my fiance, she's a nurse practitioner, so obviously that's a lot of schooling. Nursing, a lot of money. And she obviously is paying off, student loans and stuff like that. But I think you just have to make sure that they're up front with you. And that was a thing that she was a very transparent person. She told me, this is how much I have, but she also said, this is my plan to pay it off. And I thought that was important because I'm a very financial kind of like, not necessarily a cheap person all the time, but like, I'm like, shoot, but let's hurry up and get out this debt. What's it going to take? It's going to be a year and a half. Cool. Maybe you stay with me. You don't pay rent, but you paying towards your debt. We good. Like, let's make a plan, because when we get to having kids and stuff like that, we don't want any of that. We don't want, we're going to have to buy a car, just things like that. So I think as long as you're transparent up front with that debt, but if it's that they have a problem, that's different. If they constantly are putting themselves in more debt, I can't do something like that, right? I can't deal with somebody that's just constantly like making the bad decisions of still charging their credit card or still, just wasting money. Like, what money that you don't have?
Right.
Why are you doing that?
Would that be say you really you seriously dating this person? Would that be something that you'd be like, well, they keep doing this, like I can't do it?
Let me tell you this, Davell. If I seen if I seen a girl and she just, let's just say she's popping up with Chanel bags and all this stuff that she's buying.
What's the Chanel bag?
After she's telling me that, then I'm just like, wait, well, you're not, yeah, you ain't even making the effort to really do what, like, fix this problem. So it's kind of like you
got a broke nigga mentality.
In that process of y'all, she has a problem and y'all are seriously dating, are you actively trying to help with that?
I don't think that's your responsibility.
I'm asking that. I'm not saying that is
change a person, and you have to realize that you can't change a person. Like, a person changes because they want to change. So if I'm actively trying to fix your problem, then it's not gonna work anyway. So I'm with you on that, Jordan. Like, if I see that it's a consistent problem, then because I'm an adult and I know that you're not gonna change till you're ready and you're still doing it, I gotta go. Like, if that's a problem for me, I gotta be out. I can't hope that you're gonna fix it later.
Exactly. And actually, hopefully, I mean, just based on their actions and you being around them, you probably will notice it before they even tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So you would know not to get that close, because you would notice they always popping up with something new, but yet they struggling to buy the meal for you. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
Well, y'all asked Becky about her top 5. I want to know what some of y'all's, if y'all have top 5, if you do, what they are.
I mean, Nike only gave us 2, but I can give you 2.
Because it's not about me. This is not about
you want 2? I can give you 2.
Well, give me 2. Shoot, give me 2.
So I agree with Nike. Faith is important for me. I've dated women that didn't have the same Christian beliefs or the beliefs that I have. So just based on how I was raised, I realized that wouldn't necessarily work. A top 5 for me really is just ambition, like having a goal, going towards something that you want. And I was even in a prior relationship where that wasn't the case. And I kept trying to like push that person to be ambitious. I would like literally ask them, what do you like to do? What's something that maybe we can profit off of? Let's, how do you like your current position at work? Is there a way you can improve? And they were just kind of stagnant. Like, I'm just blessed to have a job. And I'm like, yeah, but like you could be blessed to have a job, but you should have goals now that you have that job. Like, how about you be blessed to get in a better position than what you in? So that's a big one for me, is just to be ambitious no matter what you're doing. If you like to do eyebrows or nails or whatever you like to do, if you can make it into a business, or you just enjoy doing it and you have a hobby other than just watching Love and Hip Hop or whatever, TV all the time, then I feel like, okay, cool. Now, I'm not saying you can't just sit around the house and sometimes just be chilling, but I do like the fact to see you like, oh, I got this new idea. Maybe we can do this, or I want to do this. And I'm like, okay, you're ambitious about something. I'm only giving you 2. I'm not giving you nothing else. Somebody else can talk.
I felt that, Jordan. I felt that.
Davell, I'm curious what your top 5 are.
Well, I don't like to put any expectations on anything. Because as I go, like, I learn different stuff, and I learn, I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know I like that, and I like that. So I don't never put any like previous or any prior things. I mean, for me, faith would be one, because like Jordan, I've dated girls that were not Christian, were other things, and it's just different cultures and stuff. So yeah, it didn't really work out. But other than just having a job and being able to provide for yourself and being a responsible or whatever, I don't really have anything that you must have. Like, I like the idea of us growing together, as we kind of grow and we learn. And
just going with the flow, huh?
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's my middle name. The flow.
Davell, go with the flow, Turner. I got it.
Yeah.
Matt?
Okay. Like everybody else, I'll say faith. However, I'm gonna take it a little step further and application. Like I was just talking to someone who she did have a belief in God and Jesus Christ, but then she wouldn't apply it. She didn't, walk the same way she talked. And so that created some conflicts in our relationship. And then just at the end of the day, are you trying to make yourself the most enjoyable person to you? Like, what are you doing to make yourself more enjoyable, to be proud of who you are? Are you getting involved in certain activities, certain, charities, organizations? Are you learning, picking up different skills and so forth, to make yourself more enjoyable? Because if you like who you are, like what you're doing, you will carry that confidence into the relationship, and that'll make that other person be, enjoying who you are. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna stick with the 2 like everybody else.
You don't want to give you don't want to give your secrets and stuff out, because your future husband, your future wife might be watching this, and they might be taking notes, and you don't want them to have a cheat sheet.
I'll pop up with them.
Yeah, you run a game on you.
Right.
You know that?
I mean, the only things that really turn me off are like little personality things. It don't usually be anything too big. It's just little personality things that I'm like, I don't know.
So what is that? Like, what is something that's a turn off?
How about hypocrite? Like, I don't like I don't like if you call me out on something. Like, okay, just a small example. It's something small, it's not a big thing, but let's say you say, oh, I don't like that you're on your phone. And I'm like, oh, okay, I understand that, whatever, boom. But then I look up and you're on your phone. Like, something like that. Like, I don't like you saying one thing and you're not doing it yourself.
So I want a real life example. I want a real life example of when a girl really like, you was like, she gotta go. Like,
okay, top 2.
Hey.
I want details.
Like, how you want him to give you a real life example? You wouldn't give your top 5. Like,
because I just told you I don't want people to have a cheat sheet.
But I feel like that was a real example, like being on your phone. Like, if that's something that's probably as real as it get in 2020. Like, people.
You're right. Okay, I'll give you a pass, Davell. I'll give you a pass. I had him thinking though. Look at how he was thinking. Davell was about to come up with something good. I knew he had something good. That's why I wanted to push it out of him.
I've dealt with a lot of people, so I've seen a lot of different things and stuff. So I don't. But yeah, but I'm also very understanding, and I understand that people are all on different paths. People are at different levels. People learn and don't. They may not have known that was a bad thing. Like, I can't get all upset just because they did something I didn't like, but they didn't know it was a bad thing. Like, okay, for me, it's like if it's a consistent pattern, like it's very consistent, like over and over. Even though I've expressed that I didn't like it, you're still consistently doing it. Like, little things like that. Because I'm very understanding. I'm the most understanding person. I'm very understanding. Like, okay, I get it. You know, it's not whatever.
I give you that. You are pretty understanding. I give you that.
So speaking of being on the phone when you're dating, like how many of y'all really have a problem with somebody like texting or on social media when you're out on a date?
Are we talking like first couple of dates, or are we talking it's been a while?
First couple of dates. First couple of dates, to me, that indicates that you're not that interested or you're not having a good time. So, you know, I'm finna hop on my phone too, and we both gonna just be on our phone.
I mean, does atmosphere have a play in that though?
You say atmosphere?
Yeah, because I feel like
No, it doesn't actually.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't matter where you are.
If we're on a date and it's a one-on-one date, I expect us to be having communicating, talking. So why you need to be on your phone?
All right. Let me ask this: if they're not on their phone, but their phone is face down, and you see it keep buzzing, what you feel? You all right? You
well,
think?
If I'm personally having, hopefully, I'm probably not even gonna notice, honestly. If I'm really in tune with like whatever we're doing, I'm not paying attention to that.
So I will say this:
physically see you doing like you're like.
I will say this: I think if somebody is on their phone constantly when you are on dates and things like that, this is kind of a tip for y'all, and actually it's really for girls or guys. Like, if they're on their phone a lot when you together, but they responding slow to text or barely texting you, that means that they're not interested in you. Because if you can be on your phone when y'all together, that means, so you do actually pick up your phone this often when you're by yourself.
Consistent.
Yeah. No, for sure. Now I will say there's a difference, like depending on that person, like what is going on. If they let me know, like, hey, maybe they have a job where they're like on call or something, I don't know, that it has to be some like legit excuse and they'd have to tell me up front, like, hey, I might be getting a call or messages every now and then, so I have to check it. But other than that, I don't want to see you on your phone. You're not paying attention to me, so this ain't gonna work.
I've noticed when I first started dating, I was the type of person that I would just like, because of what I do, like I pick up my phone and look at it randomly, and I never noticed that I did it. And I was on a date, and I'm on a thing. I was on a date, and this guy was telling me, like, he kind of noticed. He kind of like looked at me like, you're like on your phone a lot. And I was telling him, well, I didn't really think it was a big deal. Like, it's 2019, people are going to be on their phone. And he's actually the one that told me, like, it's kind of rude, like if you're actually engaged with somebody, to check your phone. But to me, it didn't mean that I wasn't uninterested in the conversation. I was having a really good time. And I told him, like, sometimes it could be an insecurity. Like, you're just kind of shy and you don't want to make eye contact. So it's kind of avoiding like communication. Hey babe, y'all, there's always people at my house. Communication, or they just don't know that that's proper etiquette because they've been with a nigga for 5 years who didn't care. So I think that Davell's point of mentioning it is extremely important because people may not understand that that's something that people require.
I remember I went on a date and we went bowling, and every time it was like my turn to go, he would grab his phone. And so then it's weird. It's like, this is not fun. Like, I'm bowling by myself. It's like, where's the pep talk, or where's the
you got it?
I'm about to whoop you in this story.
Nah, y'all independent. Y'all independent. Yeah, you got it.
Ah.
So I don't know if anyone's ever done like the whole like love, like what's your love language thing.
Yep.
Yep.
My love language, one of them is quality time. So if I want to spend time with you, I want to spend time with you. Like, I don't want you preoccupied with anything else. So to me, that's a problem. Like, it's gonna make me upset. And like Davell and Lindsey said, like saying it, I'm gonna make it be known, like, hey, you on your phone a lot? Like, who you texting? What's like, everything cool? Because I want us to have that one-on-one time. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like to text, like just in general. So no, we're gonna have this personal contact. Let's go do something, whatever, but I want it to be me and you, like nobody else.
Time to ask that though. When is the right time to mention that? Is it a first date? Like, are you aggressive if it's the first date and you're like, hey, I don't really do people on their phones when we're dating? Like, when do you bring that up?
I wouldn't say it's like aggressively like that. Or can y'all see me?
Yeah, you a little dark though, but I mean you light skinned, so it's all right.
I just was like, dark in here.
The computer, it got you. You know, you reflect it.
I wouldn't say that. I would say like depending on like what that initial conversation is. If like y'all went on a date and y'all kind of like talking, and it might get brought up depending on like the conversation. Like, yeah, I don't really like when people are constantly on their phone when I'm in their presence type thing. But I wouldn't say be like, oh, you need to get off your phone because that, that's rude and that's disrespect, that type of thing. I wouldn't do nothing like that. But I would try to bring it up in a casual way. I've
never had to like tell somebody, I don't like you on your phone, or can you please stay off your phone?
Either.
Because,
but I know people who have. I mean, there are people who have. Like,
to me, I just literally take it as you not interested, and I fall back or I ghost you. I mean, because if you're interested, I don't care if this is a habit of yours or not. It ain't a habit to where you ain't at work all the time on your phone, and if you are, I mean, that's not good anyway. So, be like, hopefully you know how to not be on your phone because you're truly enjoying the time that you're spending getting to know somebody else. Because then that's how people don't actually hear what you say. So like next thing you know, you're like, dang, they acting like you tell them something again. They like, oh, this the first time I'm hearing this. No, I told you when you was on your phone. You weren't listening.
Yeah, and it's a difference between checking your phone real quick and like being on it. Like, still you check real quick or whatever, that's fine. Like, whatever, you check your phone, whatever. I'm not. But say you just own it, like you head down on the phone, like, oh, okay, that's we get.
Yeah, you really ain't interested at that.
Getting out of line now. She getting out of line now.
Now, what if somebody does do it, then I do think that, okay, well, maybe the date is just boring. I'm not doing a good job, so I guess it's time to go, right? They not interested, so.
Or it can be a nervous thing, like people just pick up their phone to distract them from what's in front of them because they're nervous.
Yeah, like when you get them awkward silences that I don't really care for.
Or somebody has a super strong personality and you're just kind of like, whoa, like this is, I mean, it's cool, like you dope as hell, but it's a little overwhelming. So I'm not saying it's right by any means. Like, I learned, and now it's become a pet peeve of mine, which I never thought would have been a thing. But like in the beginning, I was that person. Like, yeah, let me hold on. Like, yeah, I'm listening. And maybe like every 10, 20 minutes. And he like on minute 25, that nigga straight up said, hey, is something wrong? Like, am I saying something incorrectly? Are you ready to go? Do I make you nervous? And I was like, oh no, like I'm having a good time. He was like, okay, like, do you need to make a phone call to feel safe and let people know that, like, you're saying, like, he was really concerned. And I was like, no. And he was like, okay.
It
worked. It worked. It definitely worked.
Is this the same guy that you was talking about?
Same one. Yeah.
Figures. I'm like, he sounds like a good dude.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, it was probably a little game in there. But it definitely worked. But I felt comfortable with it. It was like, okay, like, you are dominant and mature enough to say, I don't like something, and I don't have to try to figure it out. And B, you just upfront and honest. Like, I like that, because that's how I'm going to be with you. I'm about to be real straight to the point. So that actually worked for me. But if he wouldn't have done it, I would have been on my phone the entire time because no one's ever told me that before. What you got to say? I see it in your eyes. Like you got squinty eyes right now.
Yeah.
Say.
Nah, nothing. I hope it was a great date. Yeah.
I think I have like one final question before we wrap this up. So this is for the guys. I know I think we overthink situations and stuff more, but have you ever been in a situation where like you had to go talk to your boys and like, is it me? Like, did I do something wrong? Yep. Like how we have girl talk? Like, do y'all have conversations like that? If so, like, give us an example.
Davell's like, no.
Every time I give a compliment, I'll be trying to figure out and how she responds. I'm like, okay, help me out here. Like I've sent a girl a compliment and she'd be like, oh, thanks. And I'm like, okay, now is that like oh, thanks? Or is that like oh, thanks? So I'm going to hey, y'all got this conversation before? What this mean? Why did it say bag? Do I just be like, all right, that's cool? Do I just take it and keep rolling? I think at one point if I'm trying to, I'm trying to go on a date and I'm trying to take her out on a date and I'm trying to get to that type of conversation. I'm just asking about how her day is going and she's, being pretty general about it. She's not necessarily going into detail, being very specific. I'm gonna be like, yo, is it just really just a simple day or is it like?
Well, I
she just like,
I get what you're saying
quick,
there, but girls don't like texting too, so they be real short and they text, and you might take it as non-interest, but they just really a lot of girls don't like texting at all. Like they just like they hate it.
I don't like texting. I hate
texting.
I hate texting.
I'm see, and that's my
problem.
Talk to me
on the phone. Talk to me nice on the phone.
I overthink things because I know I'm a dry texter, so I'd be like, damn, like, do they think I'm dry? I'm really not. Like,
yeah, but we do.
I have a good conversation. I just don't like to text, and that's my problem.
Bro, I have talked to girls where I was just like, okay, I'm like Jordan. I just be like, okay, I guess they just not into me. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, I'll move on, whatever. But then you get them on the phone and they, boy, they text me 3 words on the phone.
I have the opposite experience.
You gotta set the phone down.
Experience guys that are short texters, and I'm the one always like, today I did this, and that, and they're just like, today I did this. I've never had a guy.
I feel like that's how most guys are though.
But do you those guys that do that, are you talking to any of them still?
No.
Okay.
That's the issue.
Where would you trying to go with that, Jordan?
No, but
well, what I'm saying is like, because I'm actually a person that, I don't like texting because it can be misinterpreted when it is short words, but I also know that like you have to text more than okay and all thanks and how you doing. Like you gotta give more context, otherwise the person is gonna think that you're being short with them. And even if you say you're not a texter, like if you are gonna text that short but you don't follow up with a phone call, then to me it looks like you're just not interested. So if you constantly sending me okay.
So because see, this is one problem. I've been bad about not establishing at the beginning that I'm not a texter. Every single time, I never like communicate that. So when is it when is it okay for a girl to call y'all or FaceTime y'all? Do y'all think that's like a weird thing, like to like?
Hold on. I definitely don't think you should FaceTime anybody right away.
I said phone call or FaceTime.
So, and even with the phone call, I feel like everything should start off with a text, or even if you met up in person and you talked about it, you could just let them know, like, look, I'm not really a texter. I prefer phone calls. Is there a good time that we can talk on the phone? And if they say, nah, I don't have any good times of the day, that means he got something else going on. But he should, for you to want to FaceTime, like I feel like that's developed later on. But a phone call is okay as long as you texting and asking when is a good time.
So I have a situation. I've been communicating. I wouldn't say I'm talking to anyone. I would say I've just been communicating very, very shortly, short conversations with someone, right? very like, I'm to the point where I was like, why am I even texting this person? Right?
Okay.
And then literally today, I get a literally like a FaceTime chat, like out of the blue. And I'm like, I don't remember the last time I literally haven't talked to you in like 5 days, and it was like 3 words. So that's confusing to me because I'm like, I don't get it.
This is like a video chat?
Yes, like literally like this morning.
I know
That's
what you're talking
weird.
about. He's a trash human being. We've already established that.
Okay, good.
If a man is
good,
not
good,
communicating
good.
with you for 5 days,
I don't.
after
It hasn't.
he texts
I
you,
said
if he calls
5 days. I don't think it's been 5 days. I
3
might
days,
have.
3
Hold
days,
on.
haven't
Hold
heard,
on.
that's weird.
I'm trying
Had
to think
you-
about. Okay, I know. Okay.
Ashley,
It
had
just-
you
it just threw me off.
FaceTimed him before?
No.
Okay, so it had never been any video call. He just all of a sudden hit you with a video call 5 days after not.
No, I
texting
said
you at
5
all.
days. I think we talked Sunday.
That's been 5 days.
Today is it 5 days?
So obviously, him and his main are having some problems. So
Not the man, no.
I just thought it was. I just was like, it's random. I'm like, okay.
Did you answer? Is the question. Did you answer?
Yeah, because I was confused. I didn't know it was
We
a
actually
video.
be answering because she's bored. You can't be doing that, Ashley.
I didn't know what was
Hey,
going on.
hey, it's quarantine. Ain't nobody got nothing to do but answer DMs.
But we
FaceTime.
You gotta stop doing that.
She getting played. Like, you're definitely getting
Right.
played. You don't have time to
Ashley,
She's single though.
Ashley,
fuck all that,
you got
fuck all
excited,
that.
didn't you?
No, I didn't know it was a video until I was like,
Jordan, don't bust her out on here like that.
I'm
it
just
threw me
asking if
off.
she
I
got
was like,
excited. I
literally
feel
just got out
like
of
I feel
bed.
like she was a little happy. Like, oh
what
shit.
happened.
Yeah, because
Because she was
I was
bored.
happy to be
Because
getting
she's
out the
bored.
bed. You should saw how I was.
now he probably just wanted to see your face. You know what I'm saying?
What time was
So
it? What time was
so
It was like
Don't blow up
9
that-
something this morning.
Hold on.
It was very random.
So I would say this, in a situation like that, I mean, I do kind of agree with Lindsey that he probably is trash. But let's just say this is a scenario where it happens, where somebody ain't really been talking to you, and then all of a sudden they FaceTime you. What I would do is literally just still sit back and see if he continues to hit you up, or was it just literally a one-time thing? And then
You can't say that. Because then she going to be around the homegirls and be like, girl, look, this nigga still calling me. You can't
Girls
say,
do that.
say that because you already know how it's
Not
going
with
to
her homegirls, because she gonna hear the back end of what I just said. He's
be. See,
still
man, you can't do that.
You right. Say that, Lindsay. Say that.
Look, this
Say
nigga
that.
still calling.
right.
Say that.
Yeah, the friends don't forget.
Nah,
was that
but
today or
look,
yesterday?
We do that though, because I definitely got
It's
somebody
today.
that's been in my inbox just blowing me up. He having a whole conversation with himself. I'm like, this
I saw
nigga
them-
is
I
crazy.
saw the messages. He really was.
This nigga is
To
crazy.
my future woman / wifey. I'm just trying to.
Boy,
He literally
he's
said that.
crazy. He's crazy.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
y'all be getting them future texts?
Nike do.
Oh.
yeah, I know we under
I
quarantine.
got a
but-
song in
Hey,
my
y'all must be stopped. Y'all that's in my DMs hit me up to having full conversations with yourself. You have to stop it.
You have to. And don't sing songs. Like, we're not together. This is not our song. I don't want to. I'm not even listening.
Oh, don't
What
send
you-
lyrics.
What you mean by
Lyrics,
sing
please
sing
don't
song?
send
What you mean?
Like, randomly, like, this guy, he'll just like get in my DM, and I even blocked him to where he got a request. So the other day, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna see what he did. I had like a whole list of like YouTube screenshots of songs, like that were directed for me. I'm not
Hey,
about to listen to that.
did he have Donnell Jones where I want to be on there?
He had Raheem Devine Believe on there today, and I'm like,
Yo, hey, low key, y'all remember that 2 Chainz song? KO.
Crazy DMs.
Y'all remember that 2 Chainz song KO? I had somebody like it was when that song first came out. He texted me when I woke up this morning. All I can think about is you.
I definitely had a
He put the you
before.
at the end of it. I said I can't fuck with this nigga no more. Like
I definitely had a nigga send me lyrics before.
Hey, he
And
probably,
I'm like,
Nike,
he probably
you
couldn't
might have
express
missed out on
himself.
your blessing right there. Yeah.
I did.
He
Hey,
basically,
Hey.
oh boy, who's
So,
talking to himself? He trying to
that's
speak you
basically
into
what he did.
existence. That's what he said.
Yeah, he wrote me this morning. Let me see what he said this.
Oh,
All I'm gonna say is, if y'all talking to these people during this quarantine time, and y'all ain't really, if you haven't been on no dates or nothing like prior to quarantine, don't take nothing that's going on right now serious. I would just wait.
For sure.
That's just jail
Just
talk.
wait.
It's all jail talk right now.
Yeah, just definitely jail talk. You know when they get out of jail, but I'm telling you, even the people that are actually in the relationships that are maybe, there's some people that are in the homes that's dealing with a lot because they've been around their significant other more than they've ever been around them before because they stuck with them, right? Well, just imagine when everything opens back up.
Oh, because
everybody out here in the streets, right? Because the first thing somebody gonna say is like, okay, you're gonna say to their spouse, their significant other, they're gonna be like, well, look, I was with you every weekend for the last 5 weekends. Like, I can go out, and then the next thing you know, there you go.
So if he hit you up after quarantine and he ain't talked to you, he's still trash.
If he hit you up, yeah.
He's trash, Ashley.
Nah, but
don't answer no more. Don't answer no more.
I just gave you a scenario.
Yeah, it wasn't no scenario. He FaceTimed you today. That ain't a scenario.
Hey, and niggas still sending DMs during quarantine. Y'all just still curving it.
I don't be getting DMs. That's them.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, because I definitely do. I'm not gonna lie. But
Nike just responds with, "What's your base salary?" So that ain't working.
I never said that. Hold on, okay. I've never ever said that. Any guy that I've talked to, I've never just outright asked them, "What's your base salary?" I've never asked like $1.
Maybe you should ask.
It's just what I have in my mind.
Maybe you should ask that dude who keep DMing you. Like,
yeah, maybe you should.
Yeah.
He told me. I think he told me. He told me.
Kind of cute though, Nike.
I ain't gonna lie to you, baby girl. I make
$12. He told me. He told me he got his. He was saying he got his own house. He got his own cars. He got his own business. He done told me. I ain't asked him. I haven't even responded.
That might be a blessing right there. That might be a blessing.
Nah, he crazy. If a dude is having full conversations with himself, and it's been weeks. Wait, no, it hasn't been weeks. It's been like 2 weeks, and he's constantly writing. Like today, let me read this from today. I'm not going to lie. I seen your profile and you're beautiful and seem down to earth. And he put the earth emoji too. From what I see, you're amazing. Wait. From what I see, you're amazing, and I'm crushing hard on you. I know you have a lot of men after you in your inbox, but I know my worth and what I can offer as a friend, man, boo, etc.
I know that's right. Know your worth, King.
Okay, King.
Know your worth, King.
Know your worth. Know your worth as you slide in her DM. All right.
You said that after 2 weeks. What did he say the first time?
Right. That's what I'm like. Wait, what did he say when he first met you? I seen your profile picture and you look.
The first time it was just like a, hey, how you doing? But then it was like,
what you say back?
Nothing. I have not responded.
Nike, respond with this. Say, oops, you dropped a crown.
Yeah.
Respond with that, Nike.
I'm not like. Look at this.
Okay.
Y'all can't see this text thread, but like, look.
Wow.
So,
she sent me the message. I was dying.
But
I was like, yo.
But see, this go back to that. This go back to the first point about like when you talking to somebody. So Nike, if this was somebody you was interested in, you would love these texts every single day.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're not interested in this person, and maybe the approach in which they even started to try to talk to you, you like, dang, this ain't gonna work. But let somebody that you actually interested in right now. He didn't even
give me a chance to respond, and he just been like,
Mikey, you had 2 weeks to respond. You had 2 weeks.
But I'm saying he's like within days, like he's been writing multiple times a day. I haven't even gotten a chance to respond.
You haven't chosen to respond. That's the difference.
No, I'm not gonna respond now because I'm like, this nigga is crazy because like he done had a full conversation.
The DM to respond.
From the first message you read, were you going to respond?
No.
She said, let me see.
I thought about it. I definitely thought about it.
She thought about it because she told me, she was like, hey, you think this nigga cute? And I was like, he's really cute. She sent me a message.
But why didn't you respond, like, after that first message?
I think, okay. Honestly, I think I forgot.
You know you didn't.
No, I had asked you, I said, do you think this dude is cute? When was this? I don't even know when we had this conversation.
Like a week or
but it was at night. It was late at night. I was first of all, hold on. Let me make this clear. I go to bed every day at 9:00.
Nike.
I think it was at 9, and it was during my wind down hours, and then I went to sleep, and then I forgot about it the next day.
Your wind down hours. Oh shoot, we're approaching your wind down. We got 20 minutes to your wind
Right,
down.
because
So we better hurry up.
So I do anything to say let's podcast. I risk my sleep for it.
Well, I mean, at this point, it does seem it seems a little obsessive, but I'm kind of with Jordan. Like, if you wanted to respond, then you could have responded earlier. Like, you didn't have to wait till week 2. Like, even if it was obsessive, you could be like, hey, bro, like, this is
no. It wasn't even like a week 2 thing. I honestly felt like I forgot about it because like I was going to bed when that whole text message happened. Well, when he first responded, but I'm not the type of person that if I know I'm about to go to bed, I'm not going to respond right then and there because then it's going to look weird that, okay, I wrote you back and then I don't respond because I fell asleep. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, just a message.
I just forgot about it. It wasn't intentional.
Yes, Matt. Yes.
I mean, I would say you probably don't want to talk to him now because if he's been sending you a message every day without you saying anything,
when she says, "Hey," he gonna be like, "Oh,
exactly."
my wife.
You know what he gonna do?
Boy.
You know what he gonna do? He gonna try to Instagram video you right then. He gonna push that button.
Yeah, I
Instagram chat.
come up missing and yeah, I can't.
Why?
I need to block him. Actually, let me.
That's what I was just about to ask you. Why haven't you blocked him?
Exactly. It's time.
I'm blocking him right now.
I wonder why girls don't block it.
Don't do it now.
Don't do it now. Don't be blocking him.
I did it.
You act like you're not about to unblock him
But
once
why
we get off
don't
this
girls
call.
like?
No, but did you like the idea of him? You know what I'm saying, messaging you, blowing you up. You know what I'm saying, being on your bumper. Like,
No, actually I didn't because I mean, there's a point. I think we talked about this on our episode when we was like, when it's too much, you just don't care anymore. You know, like it was just
Women
too much.
Women like the too much.
I like a little chase here and there. You know, like
I just never understood why I see a lot of girls complain about how they're getting blown up. Like, oh, he's sending me all these messages. I was like, why don't you just block them? Like,
they don't block them because they want to be able.
I usually do block people because I got a couple of people blocked.
They want to be able to show their homegirls and be like, look at this.
You know
nigga
what?
that
I'm gonna be
just
honest with you. It's because
sometimes
the new app that I'm on. I just started using Facebook dating. I mean, I don't know how to work it yet.
Sometimes men like, and that's the thing. Like the guy that I was telling y'all who be sending the songs, I blocked him on everything, and it's like he's like found my social media that I don't even like really use.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
You know, like that's a lot.
He hit you up on MySpace?
Like why?
oh no!
Like, why do I have to consciously say, okay, I'm gonna block you from my phone, I'm gonna block you from Instagram, I'm gonna block you from Facebook? Like, why can't you get the hint with the first block? And
should have.
That boy found your Twitter, huh? He found your Twitter, didn't he?
Don't give it
persistent. You know what I'm saying?
That's not a king. That's not a king.
That's not a king at all. That's not a king. That's a peasant.
But the guy that I was talking about was a king.
Well, you haven't blocked him yet. You gotta see what he gonna do.
No. Nike. The guy in your inbox is not a king either.
That nigga crazy.
I know that nigga's crazy.
I definitely block people, but not.
Hey, but you know what? Hey, he may be though, Jordan. He said he knew his worth. He's like, hey man,
his worth.
Know my worth.
If you know your worth, why you sending 20 unread messages and you know your worth?
Right.
After 23, he cut it off.
23.
I feel like if I would have let it go,
I know my worth. This is my 23rd message. I'm done.
That's crazy. Y'all right though. I should have blocked him sooner. Y'all right on that one. I agree.
I think the messages are entertaining them.
Yeah, you need the entertainment.
That part.
Yeah.
I don't even read the messages.
Person that wants them. That's what I heard. Ashley wants the messages.
No.
And
I like hearing other people's shit.
Yeah, because Ashley she stay calling me. What you got going on?
Yeah, Ashley, that kind of person. Anybody else got some questions? Y'all got any more questions, or y'all done?
Hey, how y'all enjoying this holiday?
Hey, I'm working, bro. I'm working.
It's another day for me.
I'll say I'm working, brother.
Now, we're quarantining, and today National Horny Day.
What?
Wait, I missed this notification. Well,
That's really the holiday today?
It's a holiday for everything.
So we just so happen to
I'm
have
trying to
this
get on the
conversation about
internet right
relationships
now.
on National Horny Day. That's what you're telling me?
I mean, people out there horny. I mean, I guess.
Well, you got to get it how you live.
Yeah,
With
nah,
that note, we're going to go ahead and end this session. We definitely going to have to do this again because this is something we can do for
It's a real
hours,
thing, though.
obviously.
it is.
So
He
we
looked
need
it
to do
up.
this again.
I looked it up. It's a real thing. I was,
Y'all trying to play me out, son.
Don't try to play him out. But again, we thank everybody for tuning in. If you got any topics that you want us to discuss, we're gonna have to do this again.
Yeah.
I think this is the group. We're gonna have to do this again. So we might have a part 2 coming
I
out.
can come back. I can
But-
come back.
Hey, get your MacBook.
We're gonna have
Yeah,
it's gonna
yeah.
be like a relationship group. So if we get some
I'm about to back next time. Okay.
I hate peanuts.
Hey, bro, you good? You good, man? You good?
so yeah. Thank you for listening to the Say Less podcast. Thriving and surviving. Make sure y'all tune them out. Actually, Lindsey, tell us when y'all podcast episodes drop.
We actually
Every
drop on
Thursday.
Thursdays. Yes. You can find us on Instagram at thriving.in.surviving and on Facebook at
Thriving.surviving.podcast.
Yes.
You can find me at Night and Day Visions. I do photography and video. You know, I can't do nothing right now in quarantine time, but you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you can follow us on all social medias at the Say Less Pod. And you can email us at what's the email, Peanut?
The Say Less
Wow.
number 4 at gmail.com.
That's what I do. I always deflect it to
number
Peanut.
4.
Hey, appreciate you, Peanut, man. You always coming through, man.
And you can find me personally on blackpeoplemeet.com. My
You
bad.
deleted your Christian mingle?
Yeah, man. They said the name was too wild, so I had to.
Oh, Lord.
They got me out of there.
Got you out of there, huh?
Oh man. Say Less podcast, thriving and surviving. We out.
All right, y'all.
Say less. The podcast lit is so defining. Say less. Making movies fast or then rewinding. Say less. We popping here in every climate. You know them charts be climbing. That melanin be shining.